the keys to our new condo. I can't believe we finally made it. But leading up to that day, there were a bunch of things that we needed to get sorted out with our lawyer and also mortgage broker. Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you watched the last episode in my house hunting series, then you'll know that I bought a condo in the GTA for under $500,000. So time to move in, right? Not yet. Because it turns out that once you've bought a condo, once you're done with the bidding process and your offer has been accepted, there are still a bunch of things that you need to get sorted out before closing day. And just in case you're not familiar with the term closing day, it's basically the day when you take legal possession of your new home, when you get your keys, and usually also when you get to move in. And in Ontario, it usually takes between 30 to 45 days from the day that your offer has been accepted until closing day. And in our case, that was 30 days. So in this video today, I want to share with you in as much detail as possible what happened up until closing day. So in case you're in the process of buying your first home here in Canada, or you've just closed the deal, hopefully this video can kind of prep you for what's going to happen up until you get your keys. After our condo offer was accepted, we were just overjoyed. And that came in the form of an official acceptance from the seller, so we had a deal. And soon after, our realtor picked up the deposit, which was in the form of a bank draft from us. Remember, we only attached the photo of the bank draft with our offer and not the real thing. And then he couriered it to the seller's realtor or the listing agent, who would then hold it in trust until closing day. But remember, in our offer, we had two conditions. One, the status certificate condition, and two, the financing condition. And we wanted these two conditions to be fulfilled before moving on and finalizing everything. So let's start by talking about the status certificate first. The status certificate is basically a document that gives you information about the legal and financial circumstances of the condo. And you want to make sure that you review this document thoroughly so you know exactly what it is that you're buying. And here on legalline.ca, it's explained well. There are various things in the status certificate, and here are a few very important things. One is information regarding the common expenses for the unit, so the monthly maintenance fee that you will need to pay. And then there's also information about any special assessments that may have been levied by the condominium board. And you want to make sure that you, as the future condo owner, are not suddenly hit by this huge repair bill, for example, for fixing the roof. And also very important is information about the recent reserve fund, because you want to know that the condo has enough money to cover an eventual large repair. So having the status certificate condition embedded in the offer in the first place protects you as the buyer. If after reviewing it, you find out that there's a big issue with the finances or even a legal issue, then you can just walk away from the deal and even get your deposit back. And to review it, yes, you need the help of a lawyer. Don't just do it on your own. And we had exactly 3 business days to review this status certificate. So for now, let's just park this for a minute and move on to the financing condition. So we also had a financing condition in our offer, and having this in place is so important. The financing condition gives us as the buyer the chance to secure a mortgage approval for the home. And in our case, the timeline was 3 business days. So that meant that we had 3 business days to secure a mortgage approval, to secure our financing to buy the home, and after that we could waive the financing condition. And the great thing about having this in place is that if for whatever reason the mortgage falls through, that our mortgage does not get approved, we can just walk away from the deal and we can get our deposit back. After our offer was received by the seller, our realtor emailed our accepted offer to the mortgage broker, letting the mortgage broker know that, hey, these guys now have an accepted offer. Please proceed to process the paperwork for the mortgage. So from there on, we had 3 days to secure our financing. And I must say that these 3 days were quite stressful for us. And the reason was simply because this was our first experience of buying a home here in Canada, and we weren't really sure what to expect and whether or not we would get that mortgage approval on time. But it turned out that everything went very easy and smoothly, especially because we had such a great lawyer and mortgage broker team. So our mortgage broker went right to work, and the next day she came back to us and informed us that our mortgage has been approved. And we got a mortgage from a monoline lender. A monoline lender is basically a company who only sells mortgage products and usually no other products for 4 years at a fixed rate of 4.64%. And I know you guys watching right now might think that, oh, that's such a great rate, because in case you follow the news, then you'll know that interest rates are a notch up higher again, and you'll need to be prepared for higher mortgage rates as well. So although 4.64% was still relatively high, especially if you compare it to like 3-4 years ago when mortgage rates were only 2% something, we were still quite happy about that. So now you might think that happened really fast. How come that you got that mortgage approval so fast? The reason was that we actually started the process weeks ago. About 2 or 3 weeks ago, we already got in touch with a mortgage broker who started to collect our documents, our information, and so on. So we didn't just get the mortgage out of nowhere, but our mortgage broker had enough time to kind of prepare our documents so that when the time came and we had our accepted offer in place, she would be able to very quickly get us a mortgage approval. And just in case you're curious to know about what it's like working with a mortgage broker, why you should work with one, what the benefits are, then you might want to check out this video, which I'll link up here for you. So at that time, our file was almost complete and our mortgage broker only needed to find the best deal for us. And here's something really important that you need to know about closing costs. Many people are not aware that besides paying for the house and the down payment, there are also a bunch of closing costs that you need to pay in order to close the deal. And our closing costs would amount to around $8,000, consisting mainly of land transfer, taxes, and lawyer fees. And yes, that amount already includes the discount that we got as first-time homebuyers. In case you don't know yet, if you're a first-time homebuyer here in Ontario, then you are eligible to receive a certain rebate, a certain discount on the land transfer tax. So now we had to prepare the remaining down payment. Remember, we already paid a deposit of $25,000, but there was still a small difference that we needed to pay to close the gap to the down payment of 7%. And in addition to that, we also had to prepare cash for the closing costs. Yes, you need to pay for the closing costs in cash, meaning you cannot roll that into your mortgage. But good thing we were prepared for all of that. So financing condition, check. We went ahead and waived that condition. One more to go. Now we needed to quickly get a lawyer to review that status certificate and also to take care of the whole house closing process. Luckily, again, our awesome realtor was able to recommend to us 3 lawyers. So after we chose our lawyer, our realtor then again sent the accepted offer along with the status certificate to that lawyer. And their team, the lawyer team, then went ahead and reviewed that status certificate. And as soon as the next day, they got back to us with an official review. And the great thing was that everything was in order with it. I mean, it's a condominium, a relatively new one by a trusted developer, so the possibility of many things going wrong with it is rather small. So status certificate condition, check, and we also went ahead and waived that. Now, with all conditions fulfilled, we were ready to go ahead and finalize this thing. And to make it official, we also got a document called Notice of Fulfillment, which basically says that we've waived all the conditions in the offer and that we're ready to go ahead. Now, the paperwork was finally done, so that was really a big relief, but there were still a couple of weeks to go. Hold on, one more thing, of course. Don't forget about the down payment. So there was still a remainder that we needed to pay for the down payment as well as the closing cost, and we needed to get the money out. I mean, we had the money available, but it was in our RSPs, so we needed to withdraw our money from our RSPs to pay for that. And just in case you don't know yet, as a first-time homebuyer, you are eligible to withdraw a certain amount from your RSB account to use for the purchase of your home. And you can also use the funds for the closing cost. So then we took out our RSB funds from the account that we had with Wealthsimple. And at first I was really worried that this process would be complicated and that it would take weeks to withdraw, but it turned out that it was super easy and simple. So all I needed to do was fill out a form online and then withdraw the funds, and within just 3 business days or so I had the money ready in my account to use. As soon as that was done, we transferred the funds through wire transfer to our lawyer. And from there on, it was really easy. Our lawyer liaised with our mortgage broker to prepare everything for closing day. So now what actually happens on closing day? How and when do you get your keys? So today is closing day or possession day, the day when we finally take possession of our house, our condo, the day when we finally get the keys. And yesterday I could hardly sleep. I was so excited about today. And by the way, yesterday we had a chance to go to the condo again with our realtor. He took the time to walk us through the condo again so that we could check all the appliances and make sure that everything's working. And that, by the way, guys, is so important because once the handover process is completed, you got your keys, then you can no longer complain about anything anymore. If any of the appliances don't work, you cannot go back to the seller and complain. So you have to do all the checking before and make sure that everything is in order. So this morning I woke up, and after getting some coffee, then at around 10:50 a.m. we got our first email from our lawyer with very good news. They updated us about the process, the closing process, and they told us that they are now in funds from the lender, so from the mortgage lender. They've received the funds, and they have also received the signed documents from the seller. So that is done, and they're now in process of setting up the wire and sending the funds to the seller's solicitor. So that is the rest of our down payment. We had a residual that we needed to pay, and also the mortgage funds from the mortgage lender, the monoline lender that I told you about in one of my earlier videos. So that goes to the seller, and once they received it and confirm it, they will sign the transfer for completeness and release, and we will proceed with the registration process. And after that, then everything should be done, and we can finally go to the condo and receive our keys. And guys, we also got another email from our mortgage broker, who, by the way, is awesome. She said, happy closing day. Congratulations on taking possession on your first home in Canada. And this email was just to confirm that they have received confirmation from the lender that our mortgage has been funded, everything is in order, and the file has been closed. And after the house closing is done, they will get in touch with us again for some housekeeping items. So this is just awesome news, guys. I wouldn't have expected that everything would run so fast and smoothly on closing day, because I heard stories where people could only close very late in the afternoon and evening, and now it's only like 11:30 a.m. So very soon we will get another email that will tell us that we can go and fetch our keys. So I'm super excited, but I'll just let this rest for now and get some lunch first. So after that, we patiently waited to get the next update to find out how we could access our keys to our new condo. So interestingly, we didn't meet anyone on closing day. Apart from our meetings with our realtor and viewing the unit, we did not meet anyone. We met our mortgage broker and also our lawyer online and through telephone calls. It seems that since the pandemic, the whole process has been shifted online, and you do not need to meet anyone in person to close the deal. But just in case you've bought a property before this whole pandemic started, please let me know in the comments below. Back then, did you actually meet your lawyer or your mortgage broker face to face, or how did it work? Our lawyer informed us that once the funds for the home were successfully released by the mortgage lender and then transferred to the seller, received by the seller, then they would release the keys to us. We just received another email from our lawyer, and it's 1:26 p.m. now, and the email says, hi, we are pleased to confirm we have closed and you are now the registered owners of condo address. Yay! It's done. I can't believe it. We have been advised that the lockbox code is... So for the transfer of the keys, the house keys, we're actually not going to meet anyone in person. But what they have actually done since COVID is that they put the key, the seller put the key in a lockbox, and the lawyer provided us with the password of the lockbox. So we just need to go to the condo, input the password, and get the keys ourselves. And also the lawyer said that they've attached a copy of the registered transfer, and we will provide you with a closing report on USB by mail with all relevant documents. So that is how they do it now. We never ever met with our lawyer. They will send us all the paperwork, all the documents via USB, which we will get in a month. So congratulations again on your purchase. It's done. So now let's go to the condo and let's get the keys, I guess. So we got the lockbox code and it was just so exciting. We arrived at the condo and the lockbox was located in the parking lot. And the key, which I'm holding right now, was deposited into a lockbox that was placed there by the listing agent. So all we needed to do is go there, unlock the box to get our keys. I'm here at the condo now, and now I'm going to get the key from one of these lockboxes. So we got the keys and now we're really happy owners of a new condo. And in case you want to see the condo, then please stay tuned for my next video, because in that video I'll take you on a tour of my new condo and show you everything in detail. Until then, take care guys, enjoy the summer, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.